This instructional video covers the use of latitude air-charged catheters as an accessory to the Gastro workstation for manometry. This equipment is compatible with GastroTrack and Polygram.net software versions. The air-charged catheter kit contains the following items. First, latitude air-charged catheters, 5 disposable catheters per box. There are 3 catheter configurations available: esophageal, anal-rectal staggered design, and anal-rectal radial design. Shown here is the esophageal manometry catheter. It features 4 balloon-type pressure sensors that are spaced 5 centimeters apart. The color-coded lure connectors make attachment to the Polygraph ID adapter cable quite simple. Another catheter available for use is this anal-rectal catheter. It features a pre-attached, non-natural latex balloon. Next, an adapter cable, gray, reusable, that connects the catheter to the Polygraph ID pressure recording apparatus. The last item is the calibration apparatus, comprised of 2 parts: the tube with attached pressure bulb and gauge, and the silicone cap with catheter openings. For first-time use, we begin by plugging the 4 pigtail connectors of the gray air-charged adapter cable into the 4 corresponding ports located on the back of the Polygraph ID pressure sensing unit. Notice the colored numerical labels that identify each pigtail. Please note, it is important to verify first with customer support the appropriate configuration. Insert each connector into the corresponding Polygraph ID port with the keyed notch facing downward. As each connection is completed, a click will be audible. Now your workstation is set up to perform a manometry protocol. Once the program is opened, you will be viewing the software's home page and will see the available routine protocols in the upper left area of the page. To start a manometry session, click once on the title of the protocol you will be using. In this video session, we will focus on the second task, equipment. Next, click on the Equipment task. There will be a subtitle that specifies your equipment. Click on that also. Prior to proceeding with the calibration software, it is necessary to hook up the air-charged catheter onto the cable and to insert the catheter into the calibration chamber. Use the following instructions to complete these steps. It is very important to make sure prior to connection that the adapter cable block switches are set to the open position. Attach the catheter to the cable by twisting each lure connection together. Make sure they fit snugly so that an airtight seal is ensured. But avoid over-tightening, which could crack the plastic lures. Also, take care not to kink the thin tubing located between the connectors and the catheter body. Also note the neck cord accessory that is useful in securing the catheter in place during esophageal manometry studies. Next, locate your calibration tube and silicone cap. At the bottom of the calibration tube is the pressure mechanism for the unit, a pressure gauge, a black bulb for manipulating pressure, and a red trigger lever for sealing or bleeding pressure in the tube. Holding the white silicone cap, choose one of the 2 circular openings in the cap. The narrow opening is used for esophageal catheters as well as for the staggered anal-rectal catheter. The wide opening is designed for the radial anal-rectal catheter. Open the side of the cap by spreading the slit that extends lengthwise into the drilled opening. Gently position the catheter lengthwise into the opening so that it fits snugly against the inner wall. The catheter should be positioned so that the silicone cap is several centimeters from the proximal balloon sensor. Next, enfold the cap around the catheter so that the lengthwise slit is completely closed. It may be necessary to tug gently on both ends of the catheter protruding from the cap to ensure it is seated properly for an airtight fit. Next, insert the catheter tip into the calibration chamber and fit the silicone plug snugly into the opening of the chamber to ensure an airtight seal. Note that none of the 4 balloon sensors should be contacting the chamber wall when it is held in a vertical position. In the next step, we will activate the balloon sensors by charging them into an inflated state. This allows for a transduced pressure response by the sensors as they are being squeezed by GI tract muscles during the procedure. Important: before proceeding, recheck that the open charge switch is in the open position. Once an airtight seal has been achieved in the calibration chamber, squeeze the black bulb gradually until chamber pressure is 50 millimeters of mercury, as indicated on the pressure gauge. The pressure can be adjusted by lightly pulling back on the red valve lever. When the reading of 50 millimeters of mercury is steady, grasp the cable block end and click each of the 4 switches into the charge position. You will note that the balloons will be slightly inflated after this step. Also, a pressure response on the equipment screen software can be noted. Lastly, bleed the pressure from the chamber to 0 by pressing the red valve lever into the down position. Under the Equipment task, click on Calibrate on the gray bar on the left. A screen appears that shows vertically stacked tracings of the corresponding pressure sensors. To begin, click on the one under Calibrate Group. This icon is located in the lower left portion of the screen. Then follow the text instructions that appear at the top of the screen. The message will read, "Hold pressure sensors low and press check." Ensure that the pressure gauge on the calibrator reads 0. Then, click on the check mark icon located in the bottom left of the screen. Once pressed, the system reads the low calibration level for 5 seconds. Next, the text instruction near the top of the screen will read, "Hold pressure sensors high and press check." At this point, squeeze the rubber bulb attached to the calibrator until it holds steady at the high level, 100 millimeters of mercury. Then, click on the check mark icon located in the bottom left of the screen. When the message "Calibration Succeeded" appears on the screen, click on the yellow Save icon in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Then, you may release the pressure from the calibration unit by holding the red trigger lever down. The silicone cap and catheter can be removed from the calibration tube. The catheter and the system are ready for use. The next step in the procedure is to have the patient enter the room and prepare for intubation of the catheter. This instructional video has covered the use of latitude air-charged catheters as an accessory to the gastro workstation for manometry.